What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream from Scalar Learning. And today we are moving forward with SAT subject test mathematics level 1. And we're blazing through the practice test from the College Board. So we have done test 1 and 2. Today we're doing test 3. And that's that. Now, if you're new to my live streams, the way I do it is I take it timed on real-time settings. I haven't seen the test. I'm just taking it for the first time, just like you guys would actually be taking it. So that's how we're going to roll. And after I finish it, then I'll grade it, and we'll check it and see if I made any mistakes. But the whole point is that you can watch me solve and answer questions in real time for the first time. So you can actually see what are my test-taking strategies on the spot. Now, I'm not just saying, hey, this is how you do it. I mean, I'm explaining, but you can see how I may have to adapt sometimes and think on my feet, just like the same ways that I want you guys to think on your feet when you might be stumped or your back's up against the wall. So that's it. Let's begin. And we've got, oops, hold on a second. This is a little bit off. The lining. Let's see if I can fix this. There we go. Sorry, just getting the screen set up to the right proportion. There we go. All right, whatever. Now it's looking good. Here we go. All right, so we got the timer set at 60 minutes. Now this is a calculator test. Of course, I can see his first problem, but I haven't really looked at it. We got 60 minutes to do 50 problems. We're going to start in, let's just make sure we don't have anything off the bat. We're going to start in, and by the way, last thing, because I'm taking it in real time, whoa, what's going on? My audio is going crazy. Hold on, let me just make sure my audio is looking good here. And we're because I'm taking it in real time. Oh yeah, it's looking good, but why is it so loud? What's going on? My audio is going crazy. Hold on, let me just make sure my audio. I hope that's still good. Okay, so it sounds like it's fine. Oh geez, sometimes when I talk, it's like going way off the charts. Shoot, let me just make sure something's happening here with the audio. Input volume. Testing. Yeah, I guess it's fine. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully, if it sounds odd or weird or too loud, somebody let me know. But I think it might be okay. It just seemed like it was going crazy a couple times there. Okay, we are going to start here. Let's start the timer. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Okay, if x plus xy plus 7y equals 84 and x plus 7, what's the value of y? All right, system of equations. Wait a minute. No, we don't need a system of equations. Solve for x. X equals -4. Plug that in here. -4y plus 7y equals 84. That's 3y equals 84, right? 7 plus -4 divided by 3. And that is y equals 28. Because 28, 60, 24, 28, boom, done. Next. 2. When four numbers are given, 4 given numbers are multiplied together, the product is negative. Which of the following could be true about the 4 numbers? 1 is negative, 2 is no, because then that would be 0. The product is negative. 2 are negative, 1 is positive, no. 2 are negative, no, that would be an even. 3 are negative, yes, no. If x plus y equals 5, x minus y equals 3, and x squared minus y. Okay, check this out. X squared minus y squared is simply x plus y times x minus y. It's a difference of squares, which means that it's just literally, this is 5 times that is 3, and it's 5 times 3 is 15. Done. Don't need to solve. If we know that little shortcut, saves you some time. In the figure above, what fraction of the region is shaded? So if that's 120, this is 120 because that's a vertical angle. So that's 240. And then this is 60 and 60. So basically it's 100. So 60 and 60, we can take it by a total of 120 of a central angle out of 360, and we can get that fraction, which is 36 or 1/3. 1/3 is shaded, and it looks like 1/3. So numero 5, which of the following is the graph of a linear function with both a negative slope and a negative intercept? 0 slope, positive slope, negative slope, but not a positive y-intercept, negative slope and negative y-intercept right there. Boom. If k squared minus 4 equals 4 minus k squared, what are all possible values? Well, let's factor that, I guess. Wait. No, let's isolate. Add k squared to both sides, 2k squared. Add 4 to both sides equals 8. Divide by 2. K squared equals 4. K equals, take the square root, plus or minus 2. Negative 2 and 2 only. I believe, yeah, not 0, because 0 would negative 4. It would be negative 4 equals 4. Negative 2 works, and 2 works. That's it. If this equals that, then I know that also, if once the bases are equal, we can literally set the exponents equal to each other. And then it's subtract 2x from both sides. X minus 1 equals 1. Add 1, add 1. X equals 2. And this would be b to the 5th. That would be b to the 5th also. It works. So start seeing the problems get harder in a little bit. At North High School, the number of students taking French is decreasing by 20 students per year. And the number of students taking Spanish is increasing by 10 students per year. This year, 250 students are taking French and 100 students are taking Spanish. Which of the following equation could be used to find the number of years n until the number of students is the same? So French is 250 minus 20n. Spanish is 100 plus 10n. Right? And we want to know when these two are equal, and that's it. And it's A. And I could probably calculate it too. Hold on. So it's 5 years. And that in 5 years, that would be 150, right? Because it's dropped by 100. 5 years, that'll rise by 150. So I know that my equation is good. So that's it. Next, if y equals this, what is the value? Y equals x, what is the, for what value of x is y equals 2? X cubed minus 1.5. Whoops. Add 1.5, that's 3.5 equals x cubed. Take the cube root, x equals the cube root of 3.5, or 3.5 to the 1/3 power. That's another way to write it. And that's 1.52. Next is the length of a rectangle is 4. Rectangle. The length of the rectangle is 4 times its width, and this is the length is 4 width. If the perimeter is 40, so then what is the area? So the perimeter is W plus 4W times 2 equals 40. That's 5W times 2 is 10W equals 40. The width is clearly 4. Divide by 10, divide by 10. So the width is 4. The length is 16. What is the area? 4 times 16, 64. Done. 11. The function blank g of t, where that is equal to that, can be used to represent the relation between grade point average and number of hours spent studying. Got it. Based on this function, a student with a G 3.5. Okay, so just plug in 3.5 for the GPA. Equals 0.066t plus 0.96. Subtract 0.96. Subtract 0.96. Want to use my calculator here. 3.5. 2.54. Divide by 0.066. Divide by 0.066. Equals 38.5. Whoa, that's a lot. 38.5 hours a week. Dang. Is that right? 38.5 equals 2.54. Yeah, I guess that's right. X squared minus blank 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 is equivalent to. All right. Oh, got it. All right. So we're setting everything equal to 0. That's all they're doing. So I will subtract x squared from both sides. The x squareds cancel out. So we should have no x squareds. 0 is obviously out of the question, I think. So it should be x cubed plus 2x, and then add 2x to that side, plus 4x minus 3 equals 0. That's it. X cubed plus 4x minus 3. These guys cancel out. Equals 0. over adjacent. So opposite over that is 0.5, which means this is 3. That's it. Because then sine is opposite over adjacent, that's 0.5. What's the length of side QR? 3. Done. Which of the following numbers is a counterexample to the statement all odd numbers greater than 2 are prime? Da-da. That's greater than 2, and it is not prime. That's a counterexample. If f of x equals blank, what is the value of negative 0.1 into that? So it's 2 times negative 0.1 minus 1 over negative 0.1 squared. 2 times negative 0.1 is negative 0.2 minus 1 over that squared is positive 0.01. You can do this on a calculator. You don't need to do it in your head like that. Then it's negative 1.2 over 0.01. That's like dividing by 0.01 is like multiplying by 100. It's obviously negative, and so it's negative 120. That's it. Negative 120. On a blueprint, 0.4 inches represents 6 feet. The actual distance between the two buildings is 7. So look at my proportion. Inches to feet. The real feet here, what is the distance on the blueprint? AKA, what are the inches? All set up, done, ready, go. Cross multiply, cross multiply. 6x equals 0.4 times 76. 30.4. It's going to be about 5. It's 5.1 for sure. What was it, divided by 6? Yeah. 5.1 rounded up. 17. The figure above L and M. L is parallel to M. R is parallel to S. What is the value of X? Okay, this is 35. This is also 35. This is also 35. Right? These are vertical angles, and these are corresponding angles. This is 60. This is parallel. This is also 60. And then this is also 60. So 60, 35, 95. X must be 85, because this equals 180. Done. For what value of x is blank undefined? For x equals 1/3, whatever makes this go to 0. Done. We can never define dividing by 0 that goes undefined. That's it. A sales team sold an average mean of blank mobile phones for the week during the first 8 weeks of the last quarter of the year. Okay. The members of the sales team receive a bonus if they sell a total of 185 phones for the quarter. What must be their average sales in phones per week for the remaining 5 weeks? What must their average sales phones per week be for the remaining 5 weeks? So they did 8 times that plus 5x equals 185. 8 times 10.3. 83 minus 83 so then I divide by 5, and this is their weekly divide by 5. This is the amount they must sell per week. 20.4. I think that's right. So they do 20.4 there. This would be 83. 20.4 times 5, and that takes us back to 102. They get 185. That's right, I think. Next, what is the y-coordinate of the point at which the line whose equation this crossed the y-axis, aka what is the y-intercept? Isolate y. Negative 2y equals add 7 minus 3x divided by negative 2. It's negative 7/2. Done. That's the y-intercept. Slope is 3/2. In the figure above, the sides of rectangle A, B, C, D are parallel to the axes. What is the distance between point A and C? Got it. 7, negative 3. This would be -1, -3, because the y is the same as that and the x is the same as that. And this one would be 7, x is the same as this, y is the same as that, 7, 4. What's the difference between the distance between those? Distance formula. So I go square root x minus x, 7 minus -1 squared, plus y minus y, 4 minus -3 squared. This is 8 squared plus 7 squared, 64 plus 49, which is 63, 50, 13, 113, I think. 64 plus 49. Square root of second answer is 10.63. Boom. All right, next, 22. 4 signal flags, 1 red, 1 blue, 1 yellow, 1 green, can be arranged from top to bottom on a signal pole. Every arrangement of the 4 flags is a different signal. How many different signals using all 4 flags have the... This is a, what's it called? Permutation. It's 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. That because we have 4 options for the first spot. Then once we select one, we have 3 options for another spot. Then 2 options, then 1, and it's 24. Triangle FGH is similar to triangle JKL. JKL. GH is 2.1. The length of corresponding KL is 1.4. So you see it's 3 halves. 3 halves times this is that. And the perimeter of JKL is 3.6. So if I know the ratio of the side lengths is the same as the ratio of the perimeter. So if this is 3.6, I could also set up a proportion, but I already know that 1.5 times this is 2.1. So 1.5 times 3.6, 5.4, and that's it. Done. I know it's got to be bigger, like, so those can go away, but it's 5.4. Which is defined as an equation of a line that's parallel to the line with equation blank. All right, well, what is this slope? Negative y equals negative 2x plus 7 multiplied by negative 1, y equals 2x minus 7. So anything with a slope of positive 2. Done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, two, three, four, 5. A tetrahedron was cut from the corner of a cube shown with 3 of its vertices at the midpoints of 3 edges of a cube. If tetrahedrons of the same size are cut from the remaining 7 corners of the cube, wow. Okay. The faces of this cube will still kind of be there in these little like diamond type things, right? And then same up top. Same over here. So technically it will still have all the 6, right? But then it's going to have at every corner, it's going to have a new thing. So 6 and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think it's 14. Sorry, cracking my knees. That's a pretty gnarly question. I think I got that right, but don't know how better to do that. Consecutive vertices of a certain parallelogram are A, B, C, D. Whoosh, whoosh. Draw it out, draw it out. A, B, C, D, which is following are not necessarily congruent. A and C, B and D have to be because they're opposite angles. A, C, and B, D. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, shoot. A and C are congruent because they're opposite angles. What am I talking about? A, C, and B, D are not. Diagonals are not congruent. A, B are like usually, I mean, well, for a no, they're not. But they could be if it's a rectangle. A, B, and C, D are parallel and congruent. So they're opposites. Yeah, let's see. Numero 27. The car traveled 200 miles at an average speed of 45 miles per hour. And the following, which is the closest approximation to the amount of time that could be saved, and the 200-mile trip at the average speed increased by 20%. So average speed is increased by 20%. That's 2.2 times this, which is 9. 9 plus this is 54. So it could have gone 54 miles per hour. So distance equals rate times time. That's x. So then if I divide 200 by 45, here my time is 4.4 repeating. Here my time is 200 divided by 54. 3.70. So it increases by, hold on, minus 4.444444. That's positive though. 0.740 hours, which is, I guess, close approximation. 3/4. Oh yeah, it's an approximation, so it's about 0.75. So that's how much time it would have saved. If c is a negative integer, for which of the following values of d is c? C is negative, so let's make it -5. For which of the following values of d is c? Is it greatest? So the -5 minus d. So we want d to be a huge positive number, and it's 10. Because then it's going to be minus that, which is then it'll be the same team, so it'll be like -15. If it's 4, it'd be which is then absolute value is positive 15. Here it'd be 9. Here it'd be 5. Here it would be 1, and here it would be 5. So yeah. In PQR, Q is a right angle. Let's draw a right triangle. Q, right angle. And this is, let's just make this P and let's make this R, which is the following is equal to cosine of P. Adjacent over hypotenuse, PQ over hypotenuse, PQ over PR. Done. The junior class is sponsoring a drama production to raise funds and plans to charge the same price for all admission tickets. The class has $700 in expenses for this production. If 300 tickets are sold, the class will make a profit of. Okay, hold on. If the class has $700 in expenses, $300 tickets, that number, times the price of tickets minus 700 minus the expenses equals a profit of 1,100. So then we can solve for this, add 700 to both sides. 300x equals 1,800. And we know that divide both sides by 300. I know that they sold each ticket for $6. So what's the profit here? So they sold 500 tickets at $6 a pop. That's $3,000 minus 700, which is 2,300. (31) In the xy plane, point 63 is the midpoint of the line segment blank and blank. What is the value? Got it. So 6 is between 9 and some number. X is obviously 3. And then 9, comma 3 is in between 5, and if it's going down, it's got to be 1. 9, 1. That's it. What's the value of x plus y? 3 plus 1 is 4. So I didn't even have to use a midpoint formula. I just know this is in between x and 9, so this is exactly in the middle. This has got to be exactly between 5 and something, 1. Because 1 and 5 are both 2 away from 3 is perfect. If 1/2 is 3/4, 1/2 is 3/4 of 4/5 of a certain number, what is that number? Immediately turn into an equation. So 1/2 equals 3/5 times x, multiply both sides by 5/3, which is isolating. 5/6 equals x. Done. On to 33. We're doing really good on time, but the problems are about to get harder. In the figure above, HJKL is a square. Okay. All those are equal. And JN equals NO equals OP equals PK. What is the ratio of the area of triangle MNP? What is the ratio of the area of triangle? What is the ratio of the area of triangle? Okay, I got it. Let's Can we assume that OM is the same height as this? We must be able to somehow. Didn't say that. The base is half. Hold on one second. This is... hold on. MNP. How do we know? Oh, I think we can. Because it goes right through these exact quarter points. I don't know the real reason, but I just have a strong suspicion that this has to be equal to the height of this. It just has to be. Otherwise, this question's impossible. So if I call this all x, I could even do a number, to be honest. Let's actually do a number. Let's make it 4. 4, 4, 4. And then this height is 4. Then this height across, or that base, is 2. So watch this. What's the area of the square? 4 times 4 is 16. What's the area of this triangle? This here is half because it's a quarter, 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 quarter. So it's 2 times 4, which is 8, and take 1/2 of that because that's how we calculate the area of a triangle. We take half base times height, which is 4, so it's 1/4. So the ratio of MNP to the area of that is 1 to 4. Done. Which of the following numbers is not contained in the domain of the function blah, blah, blah? -3. Doot. Because that would send this to 0, and we don't want a denominator to equal 0 ever. Which of the following is the graph of all values for which x squared? Let's take the square root. Square root of both sides. And wait a minute. Now let's separate it out. X squared is less than or equal to 4. Oh, this is like an absolute value function. This is then becomes, because that's equivalent to absolute value. This is like absolute value of x is now less than or equal to 2. Absolute value of x is now like that. Hold on. I know it's not this, because we also have negative solutions. So between 1 and 2 doesn't make sense. I mean, it does make sense that it caps at 2, right? Because then it'd be less. It'd be beyond 4. It's supposed to be bounded by 4. But this also makes sense. We need the -1 going down, right? So -1 down to 2. So I think it's B. It can't be 0 because 0 is not greater than 1, even though it's less than that. This doesn't make sense because circle in the figure above has center O and radius R. If OB, I'll highlight it. Just because it's hard to show these are equal otherwise. OB and OD are congruent or equal. How many of the line segments shown have length R? OB, and how many of the line segments shown length R? Oh yeah, this is R. Oops, too thick. How many line segments? So I have OA and OC. Those are obviously raised. And OE, so I know it's 3. OA, OE. And then I have a feeling it's 2 more. I have a feeling it's 5. I think that also this angle is a radius. Here, let's do it in red. I'll show you all the ones that I think are right. Can't prove it though. That one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So 3 I know for sure. It's those other 2, ED. How do I prove those are isosceles? That's the key. That's a right angle. I know how. Because in this, I know this is a little mini isosceles triangle, which means that this is 45 and this is 45, right? And that's 90. And if this is 45 and this is 45, this must be 90, 90. These 2 lines are parallel. This is also 45. It's also 45, and that's important because we've already shown that this is 45 and 45. So this is isosceles. It's 5. It's definitely 5, minimum. If it's 6, then I don't see it. I don't see the 6th one. But I know it's at least 5, maybe 6. 37, in the figure above, do you see these get hard? Figure above, if ABC and ADC are right triangles, then CD equals C. All right, so let's find AC, because AC is A squared plus B squared, and then square root of that. So AC is 1 plus X squared, right? It's 1 squared plus X squared and the square root of that. And then what is CD? So this is the hypotenuse of this guy as well. So CD, so we call CD, let's call it Y. So we say 2 squared plus Y squared, because this is like my A and my B, or my A and my B, whatever, equals this squared, which just removes the square root, 1 plus X squared. And I want to isolate this. So then it's Y squared equals, that's 4. So X squared minus 4. Y squared equals X squared minus 3, right? 1 and negative 4. And then we take the square root, X squared minus 3. Square root of X squared minus 3. Done. 38. Each of 20 students in a class took a sample of 10 candies from a large bag and counted the number of red candies in the sample. Distribution of red candies in their sample shown above. One of the students were chosen at random. What is the probability the student's sample would have at least 5 red candies? So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of a total of 20, which is 3 out of 10. And that's it. I think that's it. Would have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 out of 20. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 20. Yeah. The figure above shows the graphs of functions f and g. What is the value of fg of 3? So first, what is g of 3? It's right here. Is 3. G of 3 is negative 1. So it's what is f of negative 1? Now we find negative 1 here and plug it into this, and it's 1. That's it. Little function notation action plus graph. Tough question. 40. O is the center of the circle in the figure above. What is the length of minor arc AB? This guy. So this is the formula. We take, 25 over the total degrees in a circle, 360, times the full circumference, which is 2 pi, and then the radius is 3. Go. So 25 over 360. That times 6 pi. Right, equals 1.31. Da-da. Okay, in the xy plane, which of the following are the points of intersection of circles whose equations are blank and blank? This is... Wait a minute. I guess... Okay. I'm going to isolate y squared. I'll say y squared equals 4 minus x minus 2 squared. Substitute this in for that one. So it's x squared plus 4 minus x minus 2 squared equals 4. Let's cancel out. X squared minus, this foils to x squared minus 4x plus 4. This is x squared minus x squared plus 4x minus 4. I'm distributing that minus equals 0. These cancel out. 4x, I'm going to add 4 to the other side, equals 4. X equals 1. X equals 1. Y equals the square root of 3. And negative square root of 3. Because both work. Both give me 4. So I think it's x equals 1. Equals 1. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's this. 1, 1. This doesn't make any sense. This fails both equations. This is not even on this circle. Negative 1. How do I know it's not negative 1? I think I can. We can graph these. X squared plus y squared equals 4. I'm just a little unsure. X squared plus equals 4, and x minus 2 squared plus y squared equals 4. Oops. Yeah, it's 1. Positive square root 3, negative square root 3. Okay. This just thing that kind of started to confuse me. Because, the negative 1 messes this one up. I should have plugged it in there and realized. Then I got negative 3 and the whole thing gets crazy. It's very different. Okay. 42. The area of one face of a cube is x. Let's draw a cube. All right, here we go. All right, x, the area of one face. Oh, no, the area is x. So x. I guess an expression for the volume of the cube. Okay, so if the area is x, then the sides are square root x, and all the sides are square root x. So what is the volume? It's square root of x times square root of x times square root of x, which is square root of x cubed, which is x to the I get it, which is square root of x squared times x, which is x square root x. Let's use the volume. For which of the following equations is it true that the sum of the roots equals the product of the roots? Roots here are 2, negative 2. Nope. That would be 0, and then it would be negative 4. This would be negative... Wait. This would be 1. 1 and 1. Nope. Because it'd be 2 versus 1. Like, see, this would be negative 2. Yeah, so this would be 1 and 1, double root. This is... It's this one, I bet. It's 2, 2. 4. Yeah, 2 times 2 is 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. Da-da. If the positive integers starting with 1 are written consecutively, what will be the 90th? What? What? That's so weird. It's the 11th digit. Okay, so here we have the first 11 digits. The next row, everything will be 2 digits times 10, so that will be another 20, so this will be 31 digits. Next row will be 51 digits. Next, and like I'm saying, I'm saying the last digit will be 31. Here, the last digit will be the 51st digit is 0. This digit is 0. And then the 91st digit is 0. So the 90th digit is 5. I think that's right. I'm not even going to mess with it again and try it again. That was the weirdest problem I've ever heard. And let's hope it's right, but we'll see. 45. We got 6 problems left. 20 minutes to go. Pretty good. Function f is defined by blank for this. In which of the following intervals... For which of the following intervals does the minimum of f occur? I should just graph this. X to the 4th minus 4x squared. Four x squared plus x plus 1. Plus x plus 1. Do. Here it is. It's at negative 1.473. 0.473. It's right here. That is it. In convex polygon P, the sum of the measures of the interior angles is 1800. How many sides does P have? Okay. The sum of the interior angles, it's always n minus 2 times 180 equals the total number of the sum of the interior angles. In this case, they're saying 1800. Divide by 180. Boom. N minus 2 equals 10. Add 2 to both sides, and it's a 12-sided figure. What is the least integer value of k such that this has no real roots? Well, my friends, this is a b squared minus 4ac problem. So b squared minus 4ac has no real roots when it's negative. So what's b squared is 36. Negative 6 squared is 36 minus 4. My a is 3k plus 1. And my c is 2. And when this is negative or less than 0. Oh, what is the least? Is this how we want to play? Yeah. So then I got 36. This is 8. And then distribute it. Minus 24k minus 8 is less than 0. 36 minus 8 is 28. And 0. Negative 24. Oops. K is less than negative 28. Divide by negative 24. K is greater than, because I flipped the inequality, 28 over 24. So K has to be greater than 28 over 2. So it's 2. It's got to be 2. Let's just double check. 6, 7, 7x squared. 36 minus 56. If it's 1, it would have been 4, 2, 8, 32. Yeah, I think it's right. Okay. I think it's right. All right, if A is an acute angle of sine squared, cosine squared equals blank, what is the value of tangent of A? Well, sine squared over cosine squared is tangent squared. So tangent squared A was 2.468, and we just take the square root of this, and we've got it. Square root of 2.468. Square root of 2.468 is simply 1.571, and we've got it. There's probably other ways to do that, but that's the easiest, I assume. In the figure above, all of the right circular cylinders have height h, all the same height. Cylinders 1, 2, 1, and 3 have a base radius of 2.5 and 5 respectively. If the volume of cylinder 2 is the mean of these volumes, what is the radius of cylinder 2? So, okay, I guess we'll do it like this. This volume here is pi 2.5 squared. It's pi r squared times h. Pi 2.5 squared times h plus this one. Pi 5 squared h. So if we add those two and we take the mean of those, aka divide the 2 by 2, we get this one, pi r squared h. Multiply both sides by 2. So that's 6.25 pi plus h plus this one becomes 25 pi h equals 2 pi r squared h. The h's all can divide out. The pi's can all divide out. So now I have 6.25 plus 25 is 31.25 equals 2r squared. Divide both sides by 2. R squared equals... Oh, why did I cancel that 2 out? Whatever. 31.5. These 2's cancel out. 31.25 divided by that is 15... Whatever that is. Hold on. 31... 15.625. Square root of 15 point. 3.95. Done. And last but not least, we got 50 if f and g are functions where f is blank and g is blank, which the following gives a relationship between f and g. Now, this is definitely wrong. Because if I multiply this by 3, I don't get this. No way. Wait a minute. Oh, did I speak too soon? Hold on. It's got to be one of these two. This doesn't make sense because then I'm just like subtracting this by 3 and this one I'm just adding by 3. It's got to be like changing this. You know what I'm saying? Like plugging in x minus 3 in there. I could graph this and figure it out much more easily because these are basically shifts to the right and to the left. So let's say g of x equals. Let's do g of x. Let's do f of x first. X cubed minus 10x squared x squared plus 27x minus 18. And then the second one is x cubed minus x squared minus 6x. All right, so, and which one is which? They're saying that in the bottom one is g of x. G of x is f of x shifted. This one shifted left how much? 3. And when you shift left 3, you're actually adding 3. It's counterintuitive, so it's that one. If I shift f of x, hold on. Which one is which again? My first one is f of x. So if I shift f of x 3 to the this way, and I can prove it now, right? I said it's plus 3, didn't I? Plus 3. So watch. This is how we can prove it. And if I'm right, these should now overlap. And they overlap. Wait, did they? They overlap. See? That's it. Done. All right. Like I said, if I were really taking this test like I did last Saturday, the actual SAT, not this test, I would take the time and check my answers. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go with it. We're going to check it, and we're going to see if I got any wrong. And if I did get any wrong, I will review them with you right now. Let me get the book. One second. All right. Here we go. Here we go. And then I will take questions afterwards. So let's see. Number 1, EDBDE. EDBD. DAACE. DEBEA. Oh no! Oh, EA. There's E and A. Good, good, good. 16. BCCBA. B. '21 is DCEED. Oh shoot! I got one wrong. C22 is C. Okay, let's see why I got it wrong. I kind of rushed on this, eh? 1 red, 1 blue, 1 yellow, 1 green. Every arrangement of the 4 flags that there's. Oh shoot! I missed that last part. You see that? It says has the red flag at top. So then we only have 3 flags that we can mix up, right? So 3 flags we can mix up. It's just 3 times 2 times 1. Flip. It's 6. All right. Went a little too fast. Missed that last detail. All right. And 23 and 24. EE. Correct. All right. So far I got 1 wrong. I wonder if you guys coming to see in the section, maybe you guys caught it as I was doing it, like I made a mistake, right? 25. And that's D. Okay. 26. CBEAC. CBEA. See, 31. ABBAB. AB. 36. DABDC. DAC. Good. 41. BACCB. 46. CBBCE. CBB. All right. Ooh, 1 wrong. What is that on the curve? I think this thing. All right, it still would be an 8. No, I think. I don't know. It says 1 wrong or a 49. It's still an 800, but you lose a quarter of a point. So technically, I'd be at 48.75. I don't know if they'd round up or not. But see, this is a tight curve. This test is so difficult to get at 800, you know? You got to almost basically get everything right, which is something I've noticed, a contrast between this and the math subject math 2, where you can get like 6 wrong and still get an 800. I just had a student that got their test scores 2 weeks ago here in LA that got an 800, you know, and that's just what it is. There's more leeway. But anyways, so there it is. I hope that was helpful. I hope that mistake that I made taught you guys something. Question 25 is one of the easier questions and just went too fast. You know, it is what it is, but those are the things you got to watch out for. So let's see. What's up, guys? First live stream been to. What's up? What's up, Nguyen? or when in attendance. Awesome. First time. Can never know when who's it. Yeah, you know, that is my bad. That is my bad. I need to get a better schedule. And thank you for jumping on. And I'm really working on that this year. It's just my schedule's a little hectic. 35. Would you ever think about doing SAT fit? Nah, probably not, because you know I live and breathe math, and that's kind of my thing. So I don't know if maybe, but I'm unlikely to do that. 35. This one was kind of the way that I approached it was I just basically said, all right, I sort of how I did it was I tested out the value. So I'm like, okay, 1 and 2, yeah, these work. But I already knew that -1 and -2 within this zone would also work. So I knew this wasn't enough. I figured this one worked. This one included 0. As soon as you plug in 0, you know that doesn't work, right? 0 doesn't fit. So C's out. 2 and greater, well, if I plug in 1,000,000, that doesn't work because that's not less than 4. This one is the same problem. It includes positive infinity and negative infinity. So that's how I did it. 42. Let me see. 42. Oh, 42. Yeah. I mean, honestly, look, you just got to know it's a cube, so all the sides are equal. But the great thing is they tell you that, hey, this is X. That's my area. Well, if my area is X and it's a perfect square, then the side lengths must be the square root of this. So that's why I knew these sides had to be square root of X. So they're all square root of X, square root of X, square root of X. So that's the length, the width, and the height. And how do we get volume? Length times width times height. And that becomes square root of X cubed. And then I can simplify by taking this is really the same as X squared times X. One way to think about it. Well, I can take the square root of X squared, that's X, and then that guy stays trapped inside, and we're done. 44. 45, I'm not sure. There's got to be a way to do it without a calculator. But if you got a graphing calculator, which I highly recommend you have, I mean, why even bother? Just graph that out. But if you want to find the minimum, yeah, I think you think if there's a way to do it, it's got to be a way to do it without calculus. Because then you'd have to take the derivative and then find where it equals 0. All this crazy stuff. I don't see how you can do it without a derivative. I just don't. But maybe I'm wrong. So that's my thought. I say use it. Use a graphing calculator. Now 44. This one was crazy. Okay, so look, at the end of the day, I tried a strategy out, and really if I wanted to keep drawing this out, if I had the time, that would be 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay. And then I knew each one of these is going to be equivalent. 21, 22, 23, so on and so forth. And they said the 90th digit. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then I said 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. That's where the 31 came from. And then I'm like, all right, well, that's my shortcut. Now I know that the end digit here is going to be 51. My end digit here is going to be 71. And my end digit here is going to be 91. Go back one step, and that's my 90th digit. Which is more difficult, the SAT or the ACT? That's a tough thing to answer. I generally tend to think the SAT is a better pick, just because you don't have a science section, number one, that you have to prep for. Number two, math is 50% versus only 25% of the score, which I think is good because you can raise your math much more easily than verbal. And number three, there's less topics on the SAT math than the ACT math. For example, there's no matrices on the SAT. There is... what was the other topic that's on the ACT? Big one. Everybody, thank you so much for joining. How to do with the arithmetic sequence formula? Oh, for 44 or in general? I think you should know it, but it's not critical. But I think it's helpful to know it if you have the time. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was useful. If you guys like this video, please click that like button right now. Please click the like button. It really helps the video and the promotion and get the word out to more people who are studying for these tests like you guys. And if you want to see more from the Scalar Learning channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And that's it. I'm going to do my best to try and update the schedule, make it more predictable. I know you guys are mentioning, and other people have said that to me before, I just stream at random times. I'm not trying to do that to be unpredictable. I'm just doing it because my schedule is wild. I have a lot of students that I tutor. It's difficult to keep a set schedule of streaming, but I'm going to try and do better. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.